What's going on, guys? Steve V here with another video, and today I want to talk a little CES 2022 Arcade1Up Predictions. CES is just around the corner, early January of 2022, so I kind of wanted to give my predictions of what I think Arcade1Up is going to come out with next year. I know a lot of people are putting out some prediction videos already, but I kind of wanted to give my 2 cents because I have my own opinions of what I think Arcade1Up's going to do. I think they're going to do 6 new cabinets. And then I'm going to give a couple honorable mentions at the end of the video too of cabinets that we already know are coming out. But I think we're going to get a more ironed out game plan of when to expect these cabinets up for pre-order and just what they're going to all entail. So the first cabinet out of the 6 cabinets that I think Arcade1Up is going to present to us at CES is I think we're going to get a 12-in-1 Konami cab. Now, the reason I think we're going to get a 12-in-1 Konami cab is because they have a great relationship with Konami. This year, we got the X-Men 4-player. We got the Simpsons 4-player. Frogger is still in rotation as a countercade. I think they just gave it the 40th anniversary treatment as a countercade, maybe added one more game to it. I know they changed the side art a little bit. So, yeah, they got a great relationship with Konami, and I honestly think that every partnership that Arcade1Up has with these companies, I think they're all going to get some type of 12-in-1 treatment at some point, whether it's through a legacy cab or just a 12-in-1 cabinet with Wi-Fi. So I think at CES, we're finally going to see Konami get that treatment. Now, in the late 90s or early 2000s, I can't remember exactly when this cabinet came out, but there was a 12-in-1 Konami cab that came out with some amazing games. It was a weird looking cabinet because it just had all these different game logos of the games that were in the cabinet kind of scattered throughout the cabinet. It wasn't the greatest looking cabinet, but it had some amazing games. It had games like Frogger, Time Pilot 84, but then it also had games like Blades of Steel, Super Basketball, Contra was on there. Gyrus was on there as well. These are games just off the top of my head that I remember being on there. And it was just a great cabinet. And then the cool thing was on the bezel, it had all the different titles, and it also had all the different control schemes, so you kind of knew how to play each game. So if Arcade1Up comes out with a 12-in-1 Konami cab, it would be cool if they did something close to what that cabinet was and give us maybe a similar game list, because that game list was amazing. It had so many different genre games on it. And yeah, it would just be cool to also give Frogger another breath of fresh air, because I feel like it kind of got a bad rap with the first cabinet that came out. People were a little taken back with the music being changed, which unfortunately I don't think they had control of. I think that was just a licensing thing that even if Frogger comes out again, it's going to be the same situation. But I think one thing that they could have controlled was, I think they could have made the cabinet look more similar to what the original cabinet looked like. And I think Konami kind of slipped by trying to change that. Now with Arcade1Up kind of knowing their audience and knowing what we want, I think if they did do a 12-in-1 Konami cab, and maybe they did want to do a 40th anniversary Frogger theme, if they made it look more similar to what the original cab looked like, I think it would sell like hotcakes, and people would finally be excited to get Frogger in the mix in their game rooms. So the second cab that I think they're going to be coming out with is an online Mortal Kombat cab. Now, this is a cabinet that a lot of people have been talking about for quite a while, especially after the success of the Big Blue Street Fighter. I think it just did really well. People are getting really excited about that cabinet, doing these tournaments, being part of the Big Blue community. It really was a success, and I think Mortal Kombat deserves to get that same treatment, and I think it will. And I think we're going to see it at CES 2022. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what artwork they end up using and what form factor. There has been talk about maybe doing the Mortal Kombat 1 artwork and form factor, and finding some way around the fact that there's some hoopla going on with Master Pacina, who was the gentleman on the side art, like some type of money situation. But I think there is a way they can kind of get around that, and maybe use like a similar model to him. Um, I'm not 100% sure how that all works, but I know there has been talk of that. So maybe we might see a Mortal Kombat 1 themed Mortal Kombat Online cab, or maybe they might go Mortal Kombat 4. Either way, I think it would be really cool to see an online Mortal Kombat cab, and to have more Mortal Kombat games on there. Throw Mortal Kombat 4 on there. Give us Mortal Kombat 3. Just a lot of Mortal Kombat. I think it would do really well. People would get really excited for it, and I think it would another online community within a cabinet would be born. Probably be tons of people joining a Mortal Kombat online fan page. I mean, it would take on a life of its own. So I think we will see a Mortal Kombat online cab at CES 2022. So the third cab that I think they're going to do is Smash TV. So this is a cabinet that's kind of been hinted to us for a while. I think I might have Robotron on it as well, Total Carnage. I think with Arcade1Up really nailing the form factors lately, I think it would be cool if they just made that cabinet look as close to the original cab as possible. It's just a cabinet that a lot of people have been wanting for a while, and I think it would be really cool if they finally pulled the trigger on that, and that we saw that at CES 2022. I know it kind of appeals to a lot of different people, some arcade enthusiasts, people that grew up playing, Smash TV on some consoles, but, would definitely pick up the arcade version. It just appeals to a lot of people. So I think if they did do Smash TV at CES, I think a lot of people would get excited and it would sell very well. So the fourth cabinet I think they're going to do is going to be a driving cab. I think every year we're going to get one driving cab, one shooting cab. The driving cab that I think we're going to get at CES next year is pole position. And the reason I think we're going to get pole position is because they have a great relationship with Namco. I believe that's who holds the license for that game. I know there was a partnership with Atari as well when that cabinet came out, but they have a great relationship with Atari as well. So maybe they can somehow combine forces and actually get that Atari logo on that cabinet. I think people would really go nuts for that, especially if they nail the form factor. And it's just a cabinet that a lot of arcade fans really love, and people that collect actual arcade machines. Pole position is a cabinet that's usually part of their collection. So I think if Arcade1Up did a pole position, it would do really well. I'm not sure what games they would pair with it, because we got Ridge Racer coming out with a bunch of different Namco driving games. So I'm not really sure what they would pair with pole position, but it would be a great cabinet to see. And I think we're going to see it at CES. So, we'll see what happens. And then the shooting game. Like I said, I think there's going to be one driver, one shooter. The shooting cabinet that I think we're going to see at CES is Time Crisis. Now, I was kind of going back and forth on what I thought the shooter would be, because earlier in the year, we kind of saw a leak of what looked to be a House of the Dead cabinet. It looked like Arcade1Up was trying to kind of make some type of prototype of what that would look like, and maybe test out their PCBs to see if it could play. But I still think there are ways from running some of those games. Time Crisis also needs a beefier PCB, but for some reason I just feel like that would be a cabinet that they would have an easier time doing. And that's for two reasons. Number one, the way the cabinet looks, I find it looks pretty similar to the Ridge Racer cabinet. So I feel like as far as, just the mold and stuff like that, they would already kind of have that set up to go, even to the point of the pedal on the ground. They would just have to make the pedal a little more thicker. And then the gun, obviously, it's very similar to it's not similar. The gun itself is not similar to the big buck a hunter gun, but the way it works, they would use the Sinden light gun technology and to get the mold for the specific gun that they would need for Time Crisis. It would be an easy thing for them to do. I just feel like all the pieces are already there for them to do a Time Crisis, and then they also have a great relationship with Namco, like I was mentioning when I was talking about pole position. So I just think it's all there on the table with that particular game and cabinet. So I can see them doing that one first before doing House of the Dead. I could be wrong, but I think at CES 2022, I think we do have a higher chance of seeing Time Crisis. So the sixth cabinet, and probably the main event as far as what I think we're going to see at CES, is NFL Blitz. And I think they can do it. And I honestly think that's what we're going to see at CES 2022 as the main cabinet that will probably be one of their best sellers because it appeals to so many different people. It appeals to the arcade fans. It appeals to the person that has, a man cave or a bar or just wants some type of game like that in their basement. It appeals to the NFL fans. It can go in so many different retailer stores. You could have it at like a Walmart or a Best Buy or whatever, but you could also have it at like a sports store. I just feel like it would sell really well, and it appeals to so many different people. I just feel like the money is right there on the table for them. So if they're able to work with NFL to get it done, which I think they could. I mean, the fact that they already have a partnership with the Miami Dolphins, I believe, to kind of have their arcades in their stadium and stuff like that. I feel like that's a pretty good idea that they're already kind of working with the NFL to try to get an in and maybe try to make something like this happen. So I think we're going to see NFL Blitz at CES 2022, and I think it's going to be one of their best-selling cabinets by far. So those are the 6 cabinets that I think we're going to see at CES 2022. I did mention, I would say, a couple honorable mentions, and the honorable mentions, like I was saying, are just cabinets that we already know are coming out, but I think we're finally going to get, some pre-order dates and stuff like that. Dragon's Lair is one of them. I think we're going to finally know what's going on with that. I think we're going to get more legacy cabs kind of just reskinned, and also with more cool form factors that are a little more close to what the actual original cabinets look like. We saw the leak of the Centipede cab that looked amazing, so I think that's going to be the Atari Legacy. I think we already saw the Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet in John D's office, so we know that's going to be the new Midway Legacy. I think for the Capcom, I think we might get a Final Fight again, and they'll just make it look a little closer to the form factor of the original Final Fight. And for the Namco, I actually think they're going to do a Super Pac-Man, but they're finally going to do the proper form factor where they're going to cut out the opening of Pac-Man's mouth. I really think that's going to be something that we're going to finally see, and I think we might see it at CES. Another cabinet that I think we're finally going to see is Track and Field. I know that wasn't officially announced, but we did see it on that Randy's Records leak. So I think we might finally see that cabinet. That's another cabinet that it's going to be interesting. I don't know, it's a cabinet that appeals to a lot of arcade enthusiasts, and it's definitely a cabinet that is really fun to play. But I almost think that would be a cabinet, instead of selling it through retailers, I think that would be a cabinet that would do really well being sold directly from their website. I think if they made a small amount of units and really hit the form factor and really give it some good buttons, because it's really a button masher. So you want to make sure you have some great buttons on there, a really strong deck that's not going to cave in from everybody just hitting the buttons real quick. I think if they spend a little bit more money and really do that cabinet a nice strong what's the word I'm looking for? Just make it very durable And like I said, maybe they could sell it directly through their website. I think it would do well. But if it is a cabinet that is going to be sold, you know, at a Walmart or a Best Buy, I don't know how many people are going to be jumping to get a track and field cabinet. I guess it just depends what comes with it. I don't know. I don't really know what to think. I mean, I do enjoy that cabinet. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it at a bowling alley when I was a kid. And I do think it's a great game and a great cabinet, but I just don't know how many people are going to really jump to grab that cabinet, especially with the prices. But if you throw it on their website and make it direct in just a small amount of units, I think they would sell those out no problem. So yeah, those are my CES 2022 predictions, and then a couple honorable mentions at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It'll be interesting to see what cabinets they present to us, but I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully I'm right on a lot of these. It would be really cool if I was right on all of them. But I think there's a couple that I'm pretty positive we're going to see. So thanks for watching the video. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.